is the 14th event, and this is a big Beacon House event that's been happening for a long time. The reason the School of Tomorrow event was established was to actually help with professional development across all the Beacon House network and beyond, but also showcase what Beacon House does really well. Now, today, we will be looking at learner agency. Now, learner agency is at the heart of everything that we do at Beacon House. It is something that's been introduced over the last few years, but has really become to the forefront of Beacon House today. Now, today, we will be listening to 3 different schools on very, very different projects, and they are incredible. Some of them are school-based, some of them are Pakistan-based, and some of them go beyond to global. Now, my name is Ian Riley, and I'm the head of school of TNS Beacon House DHA. I've been the head of school there for 1.5 years, and prior to that, I was in China for 11 years, Turkey, Egypt, and Japan. I also hold a number of positions within the IB and fully promote learner agency. Now, today, as I said, we will be listening to 3, and I would like to introduce them now. Change the slide. So we have 3 people. We have one from TNS DHA, my own student, Yahya Khan, who's going to talk very, very passionately about the TNS Monologue Slam. We have 2 additional students from BCP Gulberg, and I'm going to make sure, sorry guys, that I pronounced your names right. So we have Najib Paracha, and we have Rida Kamal Butt. Then we have, from my dear friend's school, Newlands Mutan, and we have Ibrahim bin Adnan. So I would like to hand over now to Yahya Khan, who's going to talk about the TNS Monologue Slam. Yahya, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope everybody's having an amazing evening. So, TNS Monologue Slam, what it was, why I did it. So, TNS Monologue Slam was something that I came up with around in March 2021, where I was doing an annual school play of mine, and schools were shut down. So I came up with an idea where in June 2020, I took part in a global event, World Monologue Games. In that event, I took inspiration from a lot of actors from there, which gave me inspiration in doing this event today. So what gave me real confidence was that in this global event, I actually came 6th in the global rankings. And I'm an aspiring actor. I want to do acting in the future. I want to go to Juilliard University. And this is the step to that. This is the way forward. And the main inspiration was World Monologue Games, like I mentioned before, as the actors and the way they did this event. I was thinking, because this is the first time ever in Pakistan that this type of event has ever took place. And it's a huge honor for me that I'm the first one to do this. And the support by the head of school, Mr. Ian Riley, was absolutely amazing. The way he helped me, and he contacted almost every school of BSS and other schools of Pakistan, which from a TNS event to a BSS event turned into a nationwide Pakistan event, which was a huge honor for me as a Pakistani student and as a TNS student. So the planning of this event was the main thing. Whenever you're doing any type of event, it doesn't really need to be acting related or anything. Maybe it could be a business event. The planning of the event is the main thing out of anything, because without planning, the event is a flop, any type of it. So when I planned this event, training the participants was the real deal. I wanted them to feel comfortable in this so they can produce their best acting capabilities to our judges. And like I mentioned before, bringing this event on a national scale was a huge honor for me, because when you bring something to a national scale, you get recognized by different acting companies in Pakistan, and all of these actors who are the winners, they're actually being recognized right now. And the student learning and collaboration helped me in this, as this is the first ever event in, I think, probably in Beacon House history or TNS Beacon House, that it was all student-led. And with the student lab, we had a student team who was doing the media and promotions. We had a public relations student team. Me, myself, I didn't have an adult with me to help me throughout this event, except for Mr. Ian Riley, who actually helped me throughout this and actually talk to all the BSS schools so they could bring in their candidates and make this event a huge success. And the support by the school was the main thing. The way they helped me throughout this event, not only in after this event, as we collaborated with World Monologue Games and we were actually sending our winners to them so they can not only represent the BSS platform but actually represent Pakistan. So when the main event took place, we had Pete Maliki, who was the founder of World Monologue Games. So his presence was a real deal because we were sending our winners to this global event. And when we send our winners to this global event, they get recognized by the global community of acting. And when they get recognized by this, maybe in the next following 5 to 6 years, maybe they could be really big actors in Hollywood and these types of places, and they could actually excel in this field. And we had Mr. Ali Ahmed Khan, and I know you're watching the lights, and hi, Mr. Ali, hope you're doing well. So he was our judge for this main event, and his presence was really good as he knows a bit of acting. He's seen it before. He's been a part of this audience, and he knows how to actually judge it accurately. And then this event was mainly done by the TNS Performing Arts Society. And in the performing arts, it's included of all of the field, dance, drama, film, mainly everything. So having a dance judge, Ms. Nigri Chaudhary, that was actually a really good plus for us as she actually got a view of what the acting was like as there's body language in it, and she knew that how to judge it accurately. And this one is the real deal. We had Mr. Ehsan Rahim, who is the biggest film director of Pakistan. He did the biggest budget film of Pakistan, Mr. Thief in Trouble. And the way he reviewed the actors was actually really good because he's been in this before. He's done the casting call and everything. He's done this. And he has the perfect background, the perfect experience for this. Then we had Mr. Faisal Qureshi, who also came in Thief in Trouble. And he, as an actor who's been doing this for the past 8 to 10 years, his experience helped us in this event. And the actors who have gone through the World Monologue Games, they actually know that we've actually been judged by specific and actually accurate judges who know what it's like, who've been in their shoes. And then the event moderator, Mr. Ian Riley, the way he held this event, he welcomed everybody to make everybody comfortable, not only the participants, the teachers, the judges, mainly everyone, to make this event a huge success. So when you're doing any type of event, the feedback and the outcome is the main thing. So as you can see on this slide, we have the feedback from our judge, Mr. Ehsan Rahim, where with our media and promotions team, we had mugs, we had medals, we had certificates. So his feedback from what we did as the planning of this event and the organizing committee and what they did basically shows us that he actually liked it, and it was a huge plus sign for this event. And parents were involved in this event as we had 3 categories. We had tigers, we had cubs, we had youth, and these categories came into play, and the mothers were mainly involved in this as they wanted their child to win, come in this event. They wanted their child to be a winner. So they were mainly involved in this event. And it was a huge thing for them as this event gave their child some recognition. And the winners from this event actually went on a global platform, like I mentioned before. So in World Monologue Games, we had our own 3 winners from each categories, and they all went on to World Monologue Games into the regional finals, where they were not only representing the BSS platform, but they were actually representing Pakistan as a nation to show that other countries, that Pakistan does have the talent of acting in them. So as you can see that we mainly over here, we have Pakistani candidates over here where they represent Pakistan and the BSS platform, which was a huge plus sign for them. And all the people who were watching this, they could see that the Hollywood judges, the actors, they could see that Pakistan does have the acting talent and the acting capability. Not only because Pakistani acting is not just about hum TV, it's actually about this. So what is the way forward for this event? That's in any event, you always have a way forward. What's the future plan for this? The future plan for this event is that TNS Monologue Slam is the official partner for World Monologue Games in 2022, 2023, 2024, and the following years to come. So the winner's acknowledgement at World Monologue Games will always be held for the following years, as they know that they were Pakistani candidates and they came from TNS Monologue Slam. And my aim for the future and for January 2022 is making it a BSS Global Monologue Slam. So it was a BSS monologue slam, which was I wanted to be held globally so we can get recognized by other acting competitions. And instead of us going to them, they can come to us and like, we want to partner with you so we can get the Pakistani acting talent that we have, and they can come into this event so TNS Monologue Slam can get a much higher value. And follow us on Instagram for any queries. And all the people who are watching, I hope TNS Monologue Slam students are watching this. So yeah, it's happening in 2022. Come and do it again.
Okay, thank you very much, Yaya, for those insightful words. And of course, TNS Monologue Slam was a success. You included many, many schools. From our Beacon House network, it was mostly Faisalabad and Multan main campus. And you also had other schools as well. So you also had Angels from Faisalabad, and you also had Learning Alliance involved as well. Now, you talk about making this more of a global, which I think is excellent, because Pakistan needs to be represented more in terms of the arts and everything else that you can actually do. So in terms of Beacon House, let's talk about Beacon House first. How would you see yourself using your learner agency and getting more schools involved from Beacon House rather than using myself or other members of staff to go to head office and ask them?
So the way we can do this is that, like I mentioned before, as I want this event to be globally recognized. So once it's globally recognized by different schools from all around the world, from different acting competitions from all around the world, then Beacon House schools will actually come to us and they could see the success that this event is having. And like I mentioned before, instead of us going to them, they would actually come to us and bring their students. And I'm not only talking about Beacon House schools, I'm talking about HSN College, which has mainly, in Pakistan mainly, all of the acting events and all of the arts events. So if we have a success ratio and if we have the success coming in the following months and years, I think they would come to us and they would actually produce their acting talent that they have in their schools. So this event can actually go on to a much higher value.
Now, when we look at student or learner agency, it takes many different folds or many different levels. All right, so this was very much student guided activity where it encouraged more students to take part. Now, another type of learner agency is the action, which we're going to learn about from BCP, Goldberg, very much so in a minute. How do you think you could change TNS Monologue Slam to make it more action appropriate to maybe bring about change within Pakistan?
So bringing in change in Pakistan, like right now, if you notice that in Pakistan, the image of Pakistan isn't the best at the moment, and doing these type of events, giving other countries a picture of Pakistan, that Pakistan has the talent in arts, because this event mainly is related to arts. And other countries like America, Australia, and all of these, they could see this Pakistani event and they would come to us and they would actually say that, yeah, Pakistan, it might have a bad image in different areas of Pakistan, but when they see this, they would actually come to us. They would actually be interested in coming here. So then with this, when other countries come, then Pakistan's image will improve and other countries will come and have a much greater impact, as the actors over there are really talented. And when they come here, it would give a much better image to Pakistan, as they are mainly producing great actors, and they would actually go on to Hollywood and they would actually use their acting capabilities and become really famous writers, actors, singers, mainly all of the arts.
Okay, excellent response. Now, for the audience who know me, they know that I make up the questions on the spot. So I've got to say congratulations and well done to Yaya for answering it so well. Now, what's led to this conference or meeting today actually started a few months ago. And it's thanks to the 3 schools here, but there were many other schools also that wanted to take part. And hopefully they will do in future conferences that the school will actually hold. Now, it was thanks to a group of individuals at head office, but led by Ms. Kavul Baba Malik, who's the senior manager of operations and sitting in the corner. And basically, with this conference, it brought together all the students to talk about learner agency and how it works in their schools. What we saw from the presentations, so for example, for yours, very much student-led. For BCP, very much linked to more of a change agency kind of approach. And then for our final presentation, when we look at Newlands Islamabad, we're looking more at it linked to the curriculum, but actually it's in a global context. So looking at the big conference that's just happened in Glasgow with all the world leaders, very much linked to what Newlands has been doing as well. So what I would like to say to Yaya is congratulations from all of us in this room today. We are proud of you. We look forward to a bigger event happening next year, fully student-led, with no support or little support from myself and others, because we know you can do it. Thank you, Yaya. Now, secondly today, I would like to invite up Rida and Hajib from BCP, Gulberg, who are going to talk about the most amazing project. Now, when I heard about this project a few months ago, it really touched my heart because what they did, they made a difference not only to individuals who knew that they could achieve better in life, but also they've set something up that in the future could actually make a huge change, not only to BCP, but also to Pakistan as a whole. So please, come ahead.
Facts are non-verbal. Actions speak louder than words. To know, to have knowledge, or to be aware of are the many inferences of the Persian-Turkish word agahi. In the summers of 2017, a group of AS level students from BCP Gulberg came up with an idea to promote adult literacy among the support staff of BCP Gulberg. The goal was to make them more aware of the surroundings through their academic and their personal enhancement. The idea came from very compassionate and empathetic observations by the students. They used to see the support staff struggling in their day-to-day work. Some of them had a hard time understanding the instructions given to them, to the extent that they were even given warnings. The support staff shared their shortcomings with the students, hence the trio of students, Niha Hamad, Muhammad Wahaj, and Thala Shehzad, came up with an idea to help them elevate in their social and their professional circle.
Now, the first step was curriculum designing. In order to do this, students first collected data on the literacy level of the support staff. They then sat together and made a curriculum for mathematics, Urdu, English, and personal enhancement accordingly. Now, the last area of personal enhancement covered everything like topics, for example, personal development, health and hygiene, current affairs, and even how to operate different mobile apps and different gadgets like electric kettles, microwaves, and computers. This allowed the support staff to cope up with the daily activities and the day-to-day tasks in the campus. And today we can proudly say that most of our support staff is extremely well-versed in English, which has definitely embellished the campus environment. Now the next job was to make a schedule that allowed the support staff to carry on with their day-to-day office activities and their job at the campus, and at the same time, to not fall behind in the Agahi classes. This was a three-way struggle. The students gave their precious time, the support staff dedicated their time, and the admin gave relaxation to both the concerned parties so that both of them could work together to achieve this endeavor. The categories displayed on the screen before us are the ones that the support staff was divided into. Category A and Category B. Now, Category A comprised of those members of the support staff that were literate enough to read and write. And Category B comprised of those members of the staff that were just beginners. They were taught according to the literacy level. Like our name, Beacon House, we instill in our students the idea of bringing all ships safely ashore and guiding all people in the dark. These pictures are proof of the fact that we have definitely instilled this idea and applied this idea onto our students, and they have taken it upon themselves to guide the people towards a better future and spread awareness through education. Ladies and gentlemen, hard work never goes unrewarded. Our project was lauded by all and sundry on social media, and our Access Center also collaborated on Agahi with Pakistan Crescent Youth Organization, which is a sister body of the Punjab Red Cross Society. We collaborated with them. We had sessions with their counselors in which our student coordinators were taught different ways on how to more effectively conduct the adult literacy program. Not only this, they even received stipends which further incentivized them to continue their efforts towards excellence. And above all, the one achievement that we are most proud of was the fact that our program was recognized by the UN Volunteers Program. And they even rewarded us with certificates, UN volunteer certificates, which is a perfect cherry on top of our efforts.
Till the full stop doesn't come, the sentence is not complete. Then how can a story be? Ladies and gentlemen, these happy faces in front of you bear the smile of success, the smile of achievement, the smile of pride. Where office boy Majid Ali got promoted as a lab staff member, Muhammad Naseem, who through Agahi was able to carry on his studies and is currently enrolled in BA. We believe one of the most profound impacts of Agahi is Ms. Sarah Naseem, who was previously the lady searcher. She got promoted to an office staff member. Moreover, to the computer skills she learned through Agahi, she applied to a job in Dubai. And Alhamdulillah, we're very proud that Ms. Sarah Naseem is currently working as a caretaker in Dubai. Next up, we have Mr. Zafur Khan. We believe that that's the greatest impact of Agahi. He learned a number of computer skills and he was able to start his career as a freelancer by working in different softwares such as Fiverr, Upwork with a success rate of 93%. He has also worked with a number of photography companies such as Pyp Studios and is currently working as a photographer in VCP Gulberg. I would like to call Mr. Zafur Khan on stage to tell his story in his own words.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। जैसा कि बच्चों ने आगाही प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में बात की तो मैं उसका हिस्सा रहा हूँ और उससे मैंने जो मेन चीज़ सीखी वो कंप्यूटर स्किल्स थे। कंप्यूटर स्किल्स सीखने के बाद जब कोविड का सेशन आया तो कोविड के दिनों में बहुत सारे लोगों की जॉब मुतासिर हुई और उनमें मैं भी शामिल था। मुझे भी जिन कंडीशन में मुझे जॉब करना पॉसिबल नहीं था और अनफॉर्चुनेटली इसी दौरान मेरा 7 माह का बच्चा था जो उसको थैलेसीमिया की डिजीज़ डायग्नोज हो गई थी, तो उसकी लुक आफ्टर के लिए भी मुझे जॉब रिज़ाइन करनी पड़ी। जब जॉब रिज़ाइन की तो मुझे बहुत सारी फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम्स का सामना करना पड़ा। तो मैंने सोचा क्या करूं। मैंने रिसर्च किया ऑनलाइन अर्निंग के बारे में, तो अपवर्क का प्लेटफॉर्म मुझे मिला। अपवर्क के प्लेटफॉर्म से मैंने शुरुआत की। मुझे पहली जॉब एज अ डिस्कार्ड मार्केटिंग की मिली और साथ साथ मैं अपने स्किल्स को इम्प्रूव करता गया और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मैंने डेटा एंट्री, सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग में अपने सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड की और मैंने अब तक 24 सक्सेसफुली प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट कर चुका हूँ। 5 इन प्रोग्रेस हैं और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह मेरे इस वक्त जॉब सक्सेस रेशो जो है वो 93% है। मैंने इस चीज़ को अपने तक महदूद नहीं रखा बल्कि मैंने अपने फैमिली मेम्बर्स और जितने भी दोस्त अहबाब थे उनको भी इस ऑनलाइन अर्निंग की तरफ लेके गया हूँ और वो मेरी टीम का हिस्सा हैं और कोई पार्ट टाइम कोई फुल टाइम उनसे अर्निंग कर रहा है। और मेरा फ्यूचर में क्योंकि अमेज़ॉन पाकिस्तान में एंड हो चुका है, उनकी कुछ कैटेगरीज़ में मैं ट्रेनिंग ले रहा हूँ और करीब इंशाल्लाह वो टारगेट अचीव करके मैं अमेज़ॉन पे भी अपनी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करूँगा। और सेकेंडली मैं फैबी स्टूडियो के साथ एज अ प्रोफेशनल फोटोग्राफर भी काम कर चुका हूँ। वेडिंग और कॉर्पोरेट दोनों से उसमें मैं अपने सर्विसेज उनको प्रोवाइड कर चुका हूँ और BCP में जितनी भी इवेंट्स होते हैं उनकी फ़ोटोग्राफी की कवरेज मैं ही करता हूँ। जैसे ही मिस सारा नसीम अब्रॉड चली गई तो सीट खाली हुई, तो मेरे कैंपस हेड ने मुझे अपने पास काम करने का मौका दिया। मैं उनका तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ। मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ उन बच्चों का जिन्होंने आगाही प्रोजेक्ट में हमारे स्किल्स को डेवलप किया। मैं तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ बीकन हाउस हेड ऑफिस का जिन्होंने आज मुझे ये प्लेटफॉर्म फराहम किया और अपनी सक्सेस स्टोरी सुनाई। थैंक यू एवरीवन। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।
Ladies and gentlemen, Zafur Bhai here stands in epitome of the hard work, the determination put in by our seniors in Project Agahi. And today, Zafur Bhai's success bears testimony to what Agahi was, what Agahi is, and what Agahi will be.
The torch lit by our seniors is still illuminating. Every year since 2017, we have successfully conducted Agahi classes, and I myself have been part of this endeavor and this change. Unfortunately, the year 2020 halted many things for all of us, one of them being Project Agahi. But this year, once again, we came together, we sat and made a curriculum, a whole new curriculum, and the most important fact of the matter is that we conducted Agahi classes while observing COVID SOPs. We now plan to collaborate with TEVTA, Technical Education and Vocational Training Association, to hold sessions with our support staff in which they would teach them the basic vocational training services. We also plan to collaborate with Rescue 1122 that would hold emergency drills, teaching our support staff what to do in the case of an emergency or natural disaster on campus. Lastly, we also plan to spread our message of Agahi to our feeder O-level campuses and teach the support staff over there. This would enable our O-level students to take up the mantle of our legacy program and also contribute their efforts towards this endeavor. This is how a legacy continues. This is how a legacy excels. We promise to ensure that Agahi will always be a beacon of knowledge for all those in the voyage of learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Najib and Rida. I've got to say that the project here is absolutely incredible. With Agahi, it's something that started off with your seniors and now has led on. So it's continuous student agency with action at the end of the day. And I think that's incredible. What I also like about it is the plan that you have for the future and how that's going to develop. So Najib, I'm going to ask you a question first. Now, I like the fact that you are going to promote it to the O-level campuses of Beacon House. Now, because this is such a worthwhile and meaningful cause with really serious action at the end of the day, you're changing people's lives. Yeah, this is something that Pakistan should really get to know about more. Not just Beacon House, but the whole of Pakistan. How do you think you could get this done? How could you promote this more?
So firstly, like conferences like these, like on Beacon House official page, conferences like these would take us, and obviously Agahi will be expanding. Moreover, we can hold conferences in different schools, teaching students, like my partner already told that we do plan that Agahi is implemented on all the feeder branches of all our campuses as well. So we can hold trainings, and through conferences like these, we believe that we can expand Agahi more and have more people included in Project Agahi.
Would you also include IB schools within there as well?
Yes, for sure. TNS is on the #1 list.
Excellent. Now, Rida, one for you. Now, what I can see or envisage for the future here is kind of an NGO being created with the legacy. So, for example, when you both finish school, you're still going to be involved within the project. Tell me more about how that's going to work and how you still work with your seniors.
Yes, so about that, once a coordinator, once a member of Agahi, always a member of Agahi. And we annually hold meetings with our seniors, Talha Shahzad and Neha Ahmad, so that they can also keep a track of our progress and we can learn from their experiences and we can go about this project seamlessly. And we plan to do the same with our juniors when we graduate, even when we graduate university. And we also plan to incorporate Agahi into whatever institutions we go in the future. And because Beacon House is an educational institution, and the first right of education from the students is always for the student staff members, because they're always there to serve us. So this is how we want to sort of give back to the community, give back to them. So we plan to work on this with our seniors, with our juniors, and we plan to continue this till, I guess, the end of time.
And I think that is the key at the end of the day. It's giving back.
Yes, definitely.
And we need to. I mean, we are very much in a privileged position compared to many other people. And I think giving back to the community through meaningful action is something that we really need to do. So I think BCP is certainly taking the lead on this, which is excellent. And, one last question for you, Najib, and I think he's dreading it. Najib, this is a program that really could develop so much into, different languages, different areas. Where can you see this where could you see it adding on?
So what I basically see that we should collaborate with, like as my partner told about TEFTA. So we planning on collaborating with different organizations, so that not only the people who are the support staff in different schools, but those people who are doing different jobs can be a part of it. And as I already told, the success stories, so their lives can also be changed. So yes, that is one way we plan to do this, by collaborating with different organizations and expanding Agahi.
All right, let me give one piece of advice only, okay? Now, as a specialist in learner agency, there's 3 stakeholders when we talk about learner agency, okay? Everybody always thinks only about students. It's not. Learner agency is threefold, okay? It's the students, it's the parents, and therefore it is the teachers, okay? So that's your 3 different stakeholders within this. So what I would do as a next step, because we're all learning, it's a journey, is start to involve the other stakeholders within this. Our parent body across the whole of Beacon House is extremely supportive. If you look at many of the schools, they own big companies that would be very, very, very willing to help such organizations as Agahi. So to open it up, to make it a very strong legacy, if you like, for BCP that BCP started, would be absolutely amazing. Yeah?
We will definitely take this into consideration.
No, thank you very much. And both of you, an amazing presentation,
Thank you.
an amazing course, and I look forward to watching it grow and develop in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, we are now finally on to our final speaker of the day. It is Ibrahim, who is from Newlands, Multan. Now, Ibrahim when he presented at the Learner Agency Conference, he was in PYP at the time. Now, he is in MYP in his first year. And as I said very briefly before, this is linked to a very, very current event about what's happening globally around the world with emissions, with the use of plastic, etc. And what I really like about it, I'm not going to say too much, but he also involved other stakeholders within this as well, which is excellent. So Ibrahim, good luck. I know you're a bit nervous, but trust me, your project is excellent. At the end of this, I will be summarizing my thoughts, but also the thoughts of the panel here on learner agency. And also, as we've been going on, I've been receiving some messages from parents, but also different directors of Beacon House with feedback, which I'm going to share with this group here now, because they need to hear it. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ian. Thank you for the compliments. I must say that it is a great pleasure for me to be here and to present my idea. Hello, everyone. I have already graduated from PYP of Beacon Students Multan this year. So it was a bit of surprise for me to be called up to our PYP manager's office. Ms. Rabia called me to congratulate me and let me know that I have been chosen to speak at the School of Tomorrow in the session The Power of Learner Agency, Curiosity, Creativity, and Innovation. So I did what any normal kid these days would do. I googled it. The Power of Learner Agency. Of the 37 million hits it generated, one of the first ones said, and I quote, "One way of thinking of learner agency is when learners have the power to act." My name is Ibrahim Adnan. I'm 10 years old, and today I will tell you all about my journey of how I got the power to act. It is my journey from being a thrower to being a recycler, and it all started with the Pyp Exhibition. When our brainstorming session started, we were all asked to choose one of the United Nations Sustainable Developmental Goals, or UNSDG. Like most of my mates, I wanted to choose the affordable energy part, but as our discussions deepened, I ended up choosing responsible consumption and production. When our research process started, I studied materials, all kinds of materials: metals, polymers, ceramics, composites, and how these materials are made and consumed. Throughout my research, the one material that kept coming up again and again was plastic. So I researched the making of plastic in detail. As it so happens, my dada owns a PVC pipe factory, so I visited him. He gave me a tour of his factory and showed me how the PVC pipes are made and distributed throughout Multan. I found out what happens to plastic once we use it, which was that most of it is single use, meaning that it is only used once and then simply thrown away. It ends up everywhere, in landfills, on roads, in empty plots beside your houses. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. And then eventually, the plastic finds its way to our coastal areas through our streams and rivers. In fact, let's just have a look at our planet. This is how our world looks like in our books. It has the beautiful blue oceans and the 7 continents, but this is not true. During my research, I became all Christopher Columbus on Google Earth, and I discovered an 8 continents somewhere in the Pacific Ocean besides Hawaii. There's more, these masses near the coast of Japan as well. You see, our oceans are dying, and our planet is dying with it. The garbage we throw away reaches the water, and then the ocean currents carry it towards the great big patches of garbage. They are present in every single ocean. The biggest of these is located in the Pacific Ocean. It is called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, or GPGP. It is approximately 1.6 million square kilometers. For us Pakistanis, that means it is twice the size of our country. Let me say that again. It is a huge floating island of garbage located somewhere in the Pacific Ocean that is 2 times the size of our country. To my shock, a huge part of all this garbage is plastic. To put things in perspective, here are a couple of stats for you. Did you know that the world produces almost 1 billion tons of plastic every year? And 18.5% of all garbage is purely plastic? Quite alarming, right? I mean, I couldn't sleep at night after reading this. I was really disturbed until I read about this young man. This is Mr. Bayan Slat. He, like me, was so troubled by the state of the oceans that he decided to start an initiative called the Ocean Cleanup. What they do is that they collect all of the garbage from the ocean and recycle it to make sunglasses. They have also bought interceptors to block the garbage from reaching the seas and oceans through the streams and rivers. Impressive, right? I contacted them and they were kind enough to give me a reply and give me some tips to reduce the plastic waste at my place. But sadly, living in Multan, cleaning up the ocean was not an option for me. For my action plan, something I could do at home without too many resources was that I decided to collect whatever single use plastic I had at home and school, and I decided to mold it into tiles. After I had decided on making them, I wanted to see that if somebody else was doing it too. And surely there are others, like this young lady in Rwanda in Africa making tiles out of waste plastic for decoration. I also read the story of a young engineer in India making pavements out of waste discarded plastic. The steps are really easy. I first collected all of the single use plastic I had. I sorted them out according to the different plastic types. I washed them and cut them into very small pieces. I asked my mom for a baking tray and oven. I baked the plastic in the oven. Then I took it out and put a weight on it to make it even and smooth. And finally, I let it cool down for a bit. In the end, I had beautiful, colorful tiles made out of waste plastic, which my family would have otherwise thrown away in the garbage. These tiles may be used as floor tiles in public places to raise awareness and to promote sustainability. For my exhibition, I arranged all those tiles on the floor and made the platform where I presented my work. People loved it, walked on it, and asked many questions, which I hope also helped them learn about the hazards of plastic too. Here I have one of my plastic tiles for all of you to see as well. If not for this COVID, we might have all met together in person and I would have loved for all of you to walk on them. It's truly amazing. I dream that one day this idea catches on in Pakistan. And instead of dumping all of our plastic in landfills and ocean, we can probably reuse most of it to make the world cleaner for us and the wildlife as well. On a more personal note, I recently, Alhamdulillah, became a Hafiz-e Quran. So my dad threw this huge party in my honor and told me that I could wish for anything I wanted. I asked him to stop making more PVC pipes as they are hurting the environment. And I'm proud to say that he actually listened to me and bought a new machine for his factory and found a way for reusing and recycling old PVC pipes to make new ones to reduce his plastic waste. So thank you, Dada. In the end, also I like to say that this isn't my only project. And I've been making paper out of old newspapers at home, and I've also been making fabric reusable grocery bags out of my father's old t-shirts. Well, at least most of the t-shirts were old and some were not, but I told my father that it was all for a good cause. I have also been inspired by the Litter of Light project, and I'm starting a project this year to provide light from a litter of water in our rural areas. I would like to end it here saying, say no to plastic, say yes to recycle plastic tiles. So thank you all. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. That was a wonderful presentation, and I'm sure that your head of school, Aisha Naz, will be very, very proud of you. And I remember at the first conference, she certainly was proud of you as well. So congratulations for doing it again. Not easy, I know, when there's so many people watching online. Now, what I actually liked about your project, as I've said, is, of course, it's an IB project. It's the PYP. Now, you're very well aware that I work for the IB, and I've also trained your teachers in Multan. Now, with the IB, it's an ongoing journey, yeah? So the Pyp Exhibition is the culmination of everything that you've gone through with the Pyp, okay? Now, with the IB, it's very different to the O-level, A-level kind of system, yeah? What do you think is the biggest thing or biggest skill that you took away from doing the exhibition, since it is a student-led project?
Actually, the main skills we were doing was like research skills and thinking skills. So they were the both main skills we were using for our exhibition.
Absolutely. And I think with what they call in the IB, the ATLs, the approaches to learning, I think the skills that you have used, research skills within the primary school, is a really strong thing to actually learn. And that is something that the IB and also our Beacon House schools are very, very strong at actually doing as well. But I also think there's a third one that you did very, very well with, and that would be communication skill. To actually stand up and talk to, in your Multan campus, all the parents that came along to watch, to stand up at the Learner Agency Conference and stand up, fantastic, and then you've done it again here as well, yeah? Secondly, what I think is a delight is that you're well aware of what you want to do in the future. So with the water project that you actually have, that is incredible. So in the next steps with MYP, you have your personal project coming up, which is going to be in 4 years' time, 4.5, okay? Now, with the personal project, you have to start planning in advance, 2 years in advance, as Yaya did with the monologue slam. Where can you see yourself going with this project as it grows?
And actually, after doing all research and making this project, I think I have become a more responsible consumer. As I'm buying stuff, I look at it, and I think that, do I really need it or is it really necessary? And I also think of the process it has gone through. And when I'm throwing stuff, I think that, is it necessary to throw it, or I can just reuse and recycle it to make some other things? So yes, I have become a more responsible consumer.
And I think that's an incredible answer. Because what I can see from here, you know, with Multan growing very much as, you know, a city that's very comparative in respects to Lahore and also to Karachi, you know, Amazon's just moved there. There's a lot of things that are actually happening in Multan at the moment. What I would probably suggest to you, okay, to take the lead is actually do an awareness campaign across Multan first, and then start including the other Beacon House schools and other schools, city schools, you name it, into this to see what you can do. Because, as I mentioned before, there's just been a big global conference that's just finished in Scotland with all the world leaders, including the American president, who got into trouble for flying on his plane with 10 big cars behind him. And these are the things that we can actually do to change. So remember that all of us here are change agents at the end of the day. It's not for me as a head of school or the other teachers here. They're here just to pass on their knowledge. It's you, the generation of tomorrow, that are the ones that can really bring about change and make Pakistan a better country for the future. So again, congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay, now, just to finish off for today. So again, to go over what learner agency means to us, but also to Beacon House. Learner agency is threefold. We have already started with student agency. Other schools have already moved on to the next step, which is parent agency. So an example of that would be TNS-DHA has established a parent support group where the parents are there not to tell the schools what to do, but to work with the schools on different projects. Teacher agency as well. Gone are the days where teachers are told what to do. They need to be empowered. They need to have ownership of their own learning and their own classroom to make it work. If they're told to teach number 43 page out of the book, they're bored, the students are bored. They learn nothing. The antiquated education system has gone, and it's our time, both parents, teachers, and students, to bring about this change. Beacon House will continue to be at the forefront of this change, bringing about change agents. And those change agents are all the stakeholders that I've mentioned before. 3 words again that really summarize what learner agency is, and it's voice, choice, and ownership. Now, people might also say empowerment, which is the same kind of thing. If students, teachers, and parents are given a voice, if they're given a choice on how they want to learn a certain project, they will take ownership. They will remember what they learned at school. I remember asking parents about a year ago what they remember from their schooling. And this is parents who've gone through the O-level, A-level system, as most of us actually did. The only thing they can actually remember is the times tables. And the question is, why? Because it was done through rote learning. It was something that we needed to do. If you ask them what happened in, let's say, 1845-51, the Great Potato Famine in Ireland, yeah, it's different things that we know because we have interest. And that is a difficult thing. We need to engage students. We need to actually try different learning strategies. We need to empower them. So another example I know within TNS, I know within Newlands, I know within BCP, is that students are in charge of the majority of the clubs within the school, which gives them the ownership within the school as well. And then they take pride within the school, which again shows trust. What has been shown from the educational research from Harvard and also from the IB is that if you have trust, you have learner agency. All of this comes together. Now, finally, for the students who are here, I would like to read one comment that I got from one of our directors, who will remain nameless at the moment. And basically, what she has said, and she is not here, but what she has said is that the students are very engaging, very confident, passionate, eloquent, a great reflection of the attributes of the learner profile. Well done. This has come through at the end of the meeting. And actually what it does show that the people or the students presenting today really do show or epitomize the learner agency. They epitomize the voice, choice, and ownership. They love their school, they respect what's happening in their school, and they want to make a change. They want to see their schools and Beacon House be the best it can be. And the nice thing about it, listening especially to BCP, when they're talking about it going forever, as you said, when we're talking about TNS, how the monologue slam is going to continue and evolve next to more Beacon House schools and more of the network, but also Pakistan and beyond. When we look at Newlands Multan, again, it's a huge project that not only the global world leaders are looking at, but Pakistan themselves have set their own goals through Imran Khan at the moment. All these goals are achievable. All these goals can happen as long as we show learner agency and as long as all three stakeholders work together. I would like to thank you all for being here today. This has been a wonderful session with the students. I know that many of you will be watching this after the event, because there's more than one happening at the same time. We do hope that you've enjoyed the School of Tomorrow events that have happened prior to this, and there are a few more also happening today. We would like to thank our sponsor, UBL, for supporting this event as well, and we look forward to your feedback. On behalf of the students here and myself, I would like to thank you very much, and please tune in to our next SOT. Thank you.